to another 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10 today. As my guest Pedro always says, we go across the pond to talk about the car biz in Portugal. Not only the car biz just from a history standpoint, but from a right now perspective. What's happening in this moment? And I'm telling you, you're gonna be surprised by some of it, and other stuff's probably just going to be things you never knew. And I find it to be completely entertaining that there are some things that exist here that are the exact same way over there, and in some cases, even more backdated than that. So just remember, whenever you think you've got it tough, think about other people probably having it tougher. So please sit back, grab your team, and enjoy this episode. Pedro is one hell of a guy and a consummate car guy. Thanks for checking in. Hello and welcome to another 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. Today, we go international. We are joined by my friend Pedro from Portugal. Pedro, how are you today, man?
Fine, and you, man?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for making this happen. As again, we talked about, but lunchtime for me, not dinner time for you. I've learned
not yet.
In Portugal, we don't have dinner until about 8, 9 o'clock is the optimal time. So I love learning lessons, my friend. How is everything going during the current situation for you, both personally and professionally, given our kind of state of staying at home?
Okay, we are staying at home for about 1 month now. In terms of health, me and my family, my friends, and all the people I know, I'm doing fine. Regarding business, it's full stop. All the dealerships are closed. My activity as a broker, it's also closed because my customers don't buy at this time. And even if they wanted to buy, it's impossible to buy cars now here in Portugal because of the legislation. The dealerships are closed and it's impossible to buy online because it's not allowed to buy cars online here in Portugal. If they were permitted, there is only one brand, your brand, Tesla, that make it happen with some kind of reservations of cars, but all the deals have to be done by live, person-to-person deals, impossible to buy.
Got you. Impossible to buy. Is it also impossible to service vehicles this time as well?
No, service vehicles are open. In the state of emergency declared by the government, one of the sectors that are still running are service. People can do service at cars, yes.
And do dealerships run the same way on your side of the pond, which I love that. I love that you always drop that line. It's awesome. On your side of the pond, is it one entity for dealerships? They have sales and service departments, or are those separated? How does that look on your side?
No, in my side, it's all together. All dealerships have the obligation to have both departments, sales and service. I'm talking about official dealerships of the brands. Okay, officials are they must have the two valencies, services and sales.
Got you. And so, do you have standalone used car dealerships like we do, or is that few and far between?
No, few and far between. No, we just have the regular, normal, as we say, dealerships. Nothing more than that.
Yeah, so they carry new and used and service, right? That's what it looks like.
Yes, news, used and service. There is a new kind of service, financial service that provides renting a car, but that service normally is only used by companies, not for the average day man.
Got it. So you were mentioning this when before we started recording. You were talking about this idea of your role in your industry right now and sort of what that is. So why don't you kind of take me back a step there and explain to me, how long have you been doing the broker role, and give the folks here on this side of the pond a little bit of context about how you got to that position.
Okay, as I said before, I'm in the business from 20 years, since 1999. I always work with new cars, never with used cars. I made my sales progression, as I like to say, between several brands. When I reach the top, as I say, when I have the privilege to work here with the brand that is still in my heart, that is Volvo from Sweden. I reach a step of my career that I needed something more than work in a dealership and work for another guy as we speak.
Hmm.
I had the fortune to be a very financial guy and could save some couple of bucks, as you say, on your side of the pond. And this allowed me to get in this new project that I think it's very interesting, and it's something new here. As you said to me, it's not new in the US. Of course, I'm copying you guys. I'm a copycat in that kind of business, but it's something new here. That is to be an auto broker or an automotive broker, no matter the determination. So I got, or I get, in my very wide list of contacts that I have from longer these 20 years. I reached them and I said I had a new service for them. And the service, basically, as you know, is providing them the service they need to get a new car. They don't have time to do it. They don't want to do it. So I do it for them. I search them in the market, what are the best options for the matrix that they gave me, and presenting the solutions. Also, I take care when they want it, the part of the service, normal service, or eventually when the car having a road accident and needs to be repaired in that kind, I'll do the bridges also with the insurance companies. So full game on the all sides, firing all the way.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I've always loved the idea of auto brokers. I myself used to play with the idea of also being in the business of auto brokers. It's something that I always thought, I, the reason people like buying cars from me is because I eliminate the headaches, right? So is buying a car viewed as a big pain in the ass on your side of the pond as it is here? Do your consumers dread it as much as they dread the dentist? Is it all the same that way?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, it's a very bad experience to buy a car here for a couple of reasons. First of all, we don't have professional car sailors here. We have amateurs, okay? There's no formation, there's no car literacy. Normally, I don't like to say this, but I have to say it, and I say it also in LinkedIn. Here in Portugal, the persons, and I think I'm going to starting apologize for what I'm going to say, but here in Portugal, people that become a real estate broker, it's the only persons that can get a job. Point. So the image of a salesperson on the car business is the same. Is someone that can't get a job and can do anything more in life, so is going to sell cars.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it. Look, I get it. I mean, if, here in the States, I didn't go to college, and that was one of the options that was presented to me. Right, not going to college was I could sell things, and if you could sell things, you end up selling cars because per dollar figure per sale, it's one of the more lucrative positions to be in for sales. But it comes with a level of stigma. So that stigma exists on your side of town as
Yes.
well. Is,
Yes. In
is
my
that
side of
part
town.
of why you started your business, was to sort of help remove that and have the customer sort of enjoy the experience? What led you, besides, trust me, I get not wanting to work for somebody else. So I'm a number one on the list of people who started a company so they stopped working for someone. But there was more to it for me, as I imagine there's more for it for you. So what
Yes.
about the consumer aspect drove you on that side?
Yes, the consumer and the experience that I want to deliver for them, it's the one of the kind experience. They are bashed on the dealerships, all the lies, all the inconclusive numbers, all the discounts that they get or don't get. And I try to eliminate that as far as I go. So I try to provide them because, okay, some of them trust me like they trust a member of their family because they are working with me for a long time of years. And that's the best marketing a guy can get. It's the marketing that our customers deliver to the persons they know, to their family, to their friends and go and so on. And that level of experience that I'm trying to provide here to my customers is trying to make them realize that buying a car, it's a wonderful experience and it's a zero problem. And if they have any problem, from the car broke down to the tire that blow off on the street, insurance payments, service needed, provide the car when the car goes to service, and so on and so on. That's my kind of goal, and that's why I'm trying to achieving. And I think I'm really doing fine. Not so fine, but fine because let's be honest. Let's be honest. You have to be honest. It's uncharted waters here, as I say.
Yeah, so I mean, again, if you're trying to create a niche, right, in something that has never existed in your space, it's similar to what I did with our company 7 years ago. People hadn't heard of just people who dealt with vendors and data. It wasn't an idea. So when we did that, people thought, well, that's crazy. And you spend a lot of time educating. Similar to you, I use my book of business, right? People I knew in the industry, I called and I said, look, this is what I'm rapping on. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? And they go, oh, this is great. So talk me through some of those first customer conversations. Like, you have any good examples when you called someone, you're like, look, this is what I'm doing. And they went, oh my God, this is so awesome. I really want to do this. And I have friends who want to do it too. Like, how did that go for you?
First of all people that I talked before starting and before I quit the job that I had told me I was crazy. Crazy because it's impossible to have that kind of business running here in Portugal. First of all, because they all said that people really like going to the dealerships and buying the cars. All people like to talk to the salesperson. All people like to be trying to cheat the salesperson to get the better deal. And also, big international companies provide a similar service to their customers, like we have talking before. That is the financial product that we here in Portugal call renting. Okay, it's a long duration renting with all the services you can get in a monthly base
Leasing.
rent.
Got it. We call it leasing. You call it renting. Totally.
Renting. Okay.
Yeah.
We have leasing, but leasing is another financial product here that is only provided by banks. Okay, regular banks.
So renting is directly from the OEM to the consumer?
Yes, direct. The car,
Direct.
it's direct. The car belongs to that company. Okay, that international company that buys the car wherever they want. Okay, let's be face it, they buy the cars to the friends that they have on the dealerships, and deliver the car to the customer when he pays that monthly fee, that monthly rent, and he can use the car. The only preoccupation that the customer have is to put gas on the car and running, because it's all included for saying.
And
And
how long
when
are those terms?
okay, the terms varied for a combination of miles and years. Okay, it depends. The customer say, okay, the maximum in terms of years that you can get is 5 years, no more than that. And the maximal mileage. I don't know to convert to miles. I'm going to say in kilometers. That's what we use here is 2,000 kilometers in 5 years. That's the maximum that the customer can have the car. But
Okay.
normally it's midterm. Normally people do 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, something like that. It's a novel. So they keep changing car and then keep having a new car. But as I say, that is normal. It's almost standard practice in companies for their company cars, okay? Because it's not so accepted in the normal person because we have, I don't know if you have, I think you don't have this problem in your side of the pond. The people here, um, they have that feeling that they have to possess something. So this is mine, okay?
Sure.
And when you are renting a car, it's not yours. You are paying monthly something that is not yours, okay? We have this big problem here in Portugal that people want to get possessions of the thing, as far as for cars, as far as for houses, okay? People get buying houses with their mortgages, a high level of monthly rents, as I say, but they say this is my house, this is my car, this is mine. Companies don't matter. They just want the car. They just want to pay that monthly rent, use it. If they have any problem, the company will fix it, and they do that. And that's what I'm trying to do with my customers in a different level. Okay, they they pick me to present them the best option they want. They give me, like I said to you, some of the guidance that I need to comply. Price range, fuel, type of car, the level of equipment that they want in the car, and so on. And based on that, I present them the best three solutions I think are the best for them. And also, I present them an insurance because I work with insurance brokers, as I say. So I present them the insurance and also present them the program to do the service of the car in the dealerships, also directly to them. So a zero problem to them. Just they have to sign the papers, transfer the money to the dealership, and paying my fee.
That's it. So that's what I was going to get into with you. So in the business structure that you have, who pays your fee? It's paid by the
Okay.
consumer?
Okay, three three versions, as I say. My customer pays my fee, of course. The ditto, as I like to say. I apply a standard fee for doing the research for them. Obviously, I get money from the dealership because they sell the car. Okay, I'm not the dealership. I cannot sell the car. They sell the car. So I have my connections in all the brands that I know. And if the customer pick a brand that I don't have someone to lie on, another colleague of mine will provide me the contact. Okay, so I get from the customer, I get from the dealership, I get from the insurance company if I can do the insurance, and when the cars goes to the service, if I sell them also the services, I get a fee also from the service that they need. And let's see if they have an accident and the car needs to be repaired. I get also a fee from the shop that do the body work and that kind of things also.
So
So that
everyone,
there are multiple channels.
I like that because everyone's invested. That means you care about everything that happens in the life cycle of a car. You have an investment to make sure your customer is taken care of. You're not just talking about selling a car. You're talking about being a partner in car ownership, saying to someone, look, if it needs service, I'll take care of it. If it needs body work, I'll take care of it. If it needs this, I'll take care of it. That is something that is not offered here. That is not what brokerage is here. Brokerage is buy sell. That's as
Okay.
far as brokerages go, as it's ever as far as they've gone. Yeah, they might have insurance people, blah blah blah. They're certainly not after sale people. They're certainly not helping arrange service. That is awesome. That is
Thanks, man.
that is full stuff. That's awesome. It's really front to back. Very very cool. When did you start with this project?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So you've been in it 3 years, doing it on your own. What would you have? I mean, what's the one thing you need more of? Obviously, customers. But when things are going well for you, what do you need more of, and what are you lacking in growing your business?
Okay, lacking in growing my business, it's a shortage of the trust that the people needed to have from this kind of activity. Like I said it before, I'm going to apologize again. People don't trust brokers here. Okay, they like to get anything if they in their hands, and they screw up, but they're going to say, I made the deal of my life. Okay, they say I made the deal of my life, even if they are screw up. Okay, and they are proud of that. So the lacking of progression of my business is the trust that people have on professional sales. Okay, sales is a very stigma professional here regarding of the sector, especially in cars. I'm going to say it very briefly. The people along the years that I talked to, they just say that they like to do these kinds of things. Um, One of them is they can fool the salesperson and fool the finances with their taxes. They are the best things they most enjoy here is fooling with taxes and fooling with salespersons from the car business. Okay, so it's very difficult to gain trust. That's what I'm lacking is trust. Regarding that, okay, more customers. Like I said before, my marketing is based on person to person. My customers sharing the experience they have with their friends, and their friends share with their friends, and they share with their friends, and I'm doing fine. Like I said, not very fine. I'm doing fine. I can pay my bills. I can have a normal life until now. With this thing of the
But you
virus.
but you do it at your own speed, right? You do it. The difference is potentially you could make more money selling cars for a dealership, potentially. But you'd work for someone, you'd be on someone's time, you'd be earning someone else's keep. I always tell people all the time that when I started my company, I went completely backwards financially. I mean, I had a cushy six-figure job that I walked away from to pay myself money I made when I was in high school. And I did that with the intention of if I could improve my quality of life, because much like you, I'm fortunate enough to have a very financial background as far as that goes. My wife that's her bag. So we knew that we could take those risks and try that. Sounds like you had something similar.
Similar.
It's very, very cool to know that opportunity. So what are the hours like in the car business on your side of the pond?
Okay, normal dealerships are open, like you say, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, but 9 to 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. Regarding sales, shops for service are running earlier from 7 in the morning, but they close much sooner at 5 o'clock. That's the normal time of the normal official dealerships here in Portugal.
And with your day of work at a dealership, are you required? Do you have multiple days? You have to be there. What you call bell to bell, so open to close. How do the hours for salesmen work inside the 9 to 8? And how many days a week are we selling cars in Portugal?
Okay. Cars in Portugal, sales are open from Monday to Saturday. Okay. In the same range of hours. Okay. Um, Regarding the working time, it's something that when I started my career in business, they always tell me a salesperson have an hour to check in, but don't have an hour to check out. Okay, they want us almost 24/7 in the official dealerships. That's how it works, but get some time when we have to go to home and close the dealership.
Right, but when it's open, you're
Yes.
almost required to be there.
Yes. When I was in official dealerships, when they are open, they're depending on the brand, depending on the size of the dealership, depending the number of persons that to be have to be there. We are scheduled to be there for 1, 2, 3 days a week.
Wow. That's crazy. So Pedro, how many days off? Like you're open, the dealerships are open 6 days, but as salespeople, you get what, a day off, 2 days off? Like how does that work within the week?
If you work Saturday, you are not going to work on Monday. If you don't work Saturday, you work Monday to Friday.
That seems fair. I mean, that's like a week.
Uh,
Everyone gets a weekend. That's cool.
yes.
That's not how it is here, dude. That's not how it is here. You work 6 days. If you work Saturday till 8, most states that I dealt with and when I grew up in the business were closed on Sundays too. But we have states that are open 7 days, and when they're open 7 days, their hours really don't change. And so these guys, that's part of what I hope changes out of this whole lockdown thing is that we realize that it doesn't take 12 hours a day to sell the cars we got to sell.
No.
And
No.
we don't need to grind people out for 12 hours. We don't have to flood our sales floor with 30 people. We can be more precise in our approach, which is cool. So how much do you find yourself working? You're obviously working from home more, but do you find yourself
Yes.
working more, being more active than you were at a dealership? Because at a dealership, there can be a lot of downtime. So do you find yourself being able to fill your time more readily now that you're on your own?
I take the decision. I have not mentioned that before, not even when we were offline. As I said, one of the reasons I jumped to this project and work at my home home is that with my age, I'm not very old, but I get in that kind of age that I needed more time for me. I needed to things to stress down. Also, normally it's not standard feature, but normally people take that kind of decision when something happens in their lives, and something happened to me. Let's say 5 years ago, I've been not working, not on the dealerships, not on my own for 2 years, recovering from an health issue, and that health issue make me realize that the most valuable thing that we have in life is time. Just time. Simple as that. Time. Time is the most valuable thing. It's the only thing that we can buy is time. We can buy also health. We can buy health care, but health, being healthy, we cannot buy, and time we cannot buy also. So following that, I needed to have a more calm life and enjoy time for myself, that in the dealership I didn't have time for 15, 18 years, 9 to 5, Monday to Saturday, fairs, shopping center expositions, car shows, customer events on tracks, racing tracks, rallies, and so on, presentations on weekends to company of the models. I didn't get a life. I didn't get a life of my own, and I needed to get my life back to my hands. So I made this decision. Now, going back to your question, and I'm sorry for these words, but just to give you the picture of that, I'm working less. Of course, I'm working less at home, that I work less in the dealership, but I get less in times of, as I say, intensity, because I need to be updated. I need to know what the car models have, what the financial is doing, how people are buying the cars, all the tendencies, all that things that takes me a lot of time during the day. So that's when I spend most of my time is searching and reading and getting updated.
Look, man, that's an unbelievable story, and to hear you kind of come back and get a realization from a health perspective on where you want to go with your life and sort of how you want to open it up. I hope anyone watching this is really listening to the part about time, because it isn't something that, as you said, is a commodity. It's not purchasable, but it is the most valuable thing that you have at your disposal, and that's really, really a great line, man. Look, Pedro, you've been awesome, man. You have taken up enough of your time, but sort of as we wrap this up, talk to me about what, like, how much longer is it that you guys sit in the position you're in as far as your stay-at-home order, and then what do you expect to happen with commerce in our industry on your side of the pond as it opens up, man?
Okay, I think we are doing pretty fine here, fighting this thing. Of course, I'm not going to enter in political discussions, but we take the actions very lightly. We could do much better than we did. Our government was far behind the line in this situation, like all countries in the European Union. They thought this was a joke, that this was just a China thing, and they took much longer to declare the state of emergency, to lock down the borders, shut down airports, and that kind of things. And things spread a little bit here, not in the mention of the US, of course. We have more or less 500 deaths, but we are also just 10 million persons here. So the perspective is different. Things are slowing down, things are going better. Government will not declare the state of emergency in May. The state of emergency is declared until the end of April, so until the end of this month. And in May, things will start running, slowly but running. Regarding our business, dealerships will open on the first day of May, not the first because it's Labor Day here in Portugal, it's a bank holiday, but the first business day of May, dealerships regarding the sales are going to open with some limitation of people inside the dealerships, and that blah 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 of social distance and blah blah blah, but in the good way, not to be taking your time
No, no,
saying
no.
the
You're
stating
totally right.
the
It's our government did the same. I think everyone was a little bit slower to react than they probably should have been. I think a lot of people have learned from this. It's no longer a situation that you can say it'll never happen to you, because it has. So now that it has, it's well within the realm of possibility for it to happen to you again. So I think as long as everyone learns and we don't get full of ourselves again and think that it's not going to happen, or that it can't happen to us, then I think we'll be better off. Pedro, when things open up May 1st, do you have clients who are ready to move? Have you had a lot of job loss in this time in your country? Like how does that look to you in your own portfolio?
In my own portfolio, I have a couple of clients that they are taking. They wanted to buy before this crisis, and they still want to buy, but I have to do the calculations all over again to get a better deal for them, because the industry is closed and dealerships want to sell cars with more discounts to get the business running again. So in that part, I have a couple of clients that are ready to move. Regarding direct job loss in the industry, I will take you rapidly into perspectives. Industry manufacturing, we have one, two, three, four brands that have factories that produce cars here in Portugal. all the people are in the I'm going to use your word because it's the word we use here, are in layoff. Okay, they are at home. The employer gives them 30% of the salary. The government gives 70%. There are big difference because in our systems, from my side to your side, but we don't have time, and it's not car business related. It's
This
not
isn't a
car business.
political show, Pedro. All right, I don't do
No.
that stuff here. I don't try to get into that. You know what I mean?
So they are
No,
laying
no.
off. No jobs lost
Yeah.
in the industry, in the manufacturer. No jobs lost. Everybody at home. Everybody laid off. Everybody ready to rock and roll May 1st. Regarding dealerships, the people that works in the shops, in the service parts, they keep, as I said, they didn't stop. No job losses. Regarding salespersons, as far as I know, they are at home laying off also, with that perspective that the government offer with the laws of being laid off. So no job losses until now. But it's going to be very tough month. May will be a very tough month to see what happens, and maybe there are going to be some fired in regarding to salespersons in May, in June,
And
something like that.
so, all right, last question. Do you anticipate your manufacturers getting aggressive within what they're offering as discounts to move these units since they've been stagnant now for a month? Do you see, are you already seeing that? Do you have manufacturers that are still doing advertising? Do you have dealerships that are still doing advertising? What happened to that arm during this time?
They are going to be very graphics. In this time, they made a wrong decision. In my opinion, they don't communicate. We don't see television advertising from any brand of cars here in Portugal. In my opinion, they did it wrong. They should communicate something. We are here. We love you. You still are my customers. We are going to back again in strong. No, as I said it you on messages through LinkedIn, this is covered with dust here. That we don't things do like you do in your side. Okay, they stop. Industry stop. They stop. And now they will restart again in May. When they will restart, yes, they are going to become very aggressive. They are going to start losing money, selling the cars in expansions like it's normal here in Portugal. Dealerships lose money selling cars and make money with the service. Service are very expensive here in Portugal. Cars are not very cheap. It's again a political situation because of the taxes that are in here in the cars. Just for you to know, and all the people that are viewing, normally 50% of the price of the car here in Portugal is taxes. For example, a car that is 20,000 euros, 10%, 50%, 10,000 euros are taxes. Okay, there are two taxes here. They apply one tax, and from that tax they apply another tax that it's common ground. It's VAT. They apply VAT in the tax. I don't no matter the name now. They tax the car with one tax, and they tax again the VAT again from the taxes. It's awful, man. It's awful.
Dude, that's absolutely insane. Well, I'm gonna leave it there because now we're getting far too political. We're getting into taxation. That's completely
Yes,
ridiculous, right? Pedro, man, thank you so much for being on the show. It was
man.
awesome to connect this way. I love your perspective, and we're gonna do this again for sure. And my wife, like I've told you before via messages, my wife is. I gotta get to your side of the world, man. Portugal is, all about it on her list of places to go. So when that happens, we'll make sure we do this whole thing in person.
Yes, and you are invited to have dinner at my house. No
Uh,
problem at all. I appreciate this invitation. Makes me very proud to get my message through your side and be on your show. It's an immense privilege, and when you want to do it, I'm totally free again to do it. And if you or anyone that is listening and viewing us have any questions, no problem. I'm here almost almost 24/7 almost 24/7 to keep you updated where things are going here.
Sounds great, Pedro. We look forward to it, man. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful day. Folks, as always, you know you can find 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10, anywhere you find your podcast. Don't forget, check out the YouTube channel, Car Biz Done Better, and find all the shows previously to this one here. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day.